Hey everyone, it's college football time here on the Sports Talk Plus video show. You hear us every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon on ESPN Radio 94.1 during High School Sports Talk presented by VirginiaPreps.com. Go there. You will not regret it. It'll be an enjoyable, unforgettable experience. He's the coach, Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield, and we're going to talk college football today, make our final four picks, our Hesiman Trophy pick, and touch on a few of the games going on this Labor Day weekend, Ed. And we made our picks on the site on MatthewHatfield.com. You took Alabama over Florida State. I took Florida State as the 7-point underdog to win that game. Michigan, Florida, we both got Michigan. Texas and Maryland, we both got Texas. Virginia Tech, West Virginia, you took the Hokies by 2. I took the Mountaineers by 4. UCLA, Texas A&M, we both have UCLA. And then you took Georgia Tech. I took Tennessee. So we'll see who digs themselves potentially
somebody's
a hole.
going in a hole.
Yeah, it might be me. The thing that's interesting to me, that Florida to Alabama game, I think this is a game that's a national championship level game in game 1. Jimbo Fisher used to be a coach with Nick Saban when he was at LSU. And we've seen what Florida State's done, winning a national championship with Jameis Winston. Nick Saban's won multiple national championships and is just cementing his legacy as, if not the best college football coach of all time. Certainly in this time, he's right there. You think of him and Urban Meyer at the top of that list. Bama's got Heisman candidates with Jalen Hurts and Bo Scarborough. The defense is filling in some holes. Florida State, you got DeAndre Francois, quarterback, who showed a lot of promise last year. They do lose Dalvin Cook in the backfield, but they got some good youngsters, including one from our area and Kalen LeBourne from Virginia Beach. So they won't have a drop-off there in their defensive line. That's the matchup I'm watching in this game, is the defensive line, led by a couple of 7.57 products and Josh Sweat out of Oscar Smith High in Chesapeake, and Derek Nottie, the D-tackle from Virginia Beach's Ocean Lakes High School. Can they apply pressure? Can they neutralize that running game and really disrupt things in the trenches?
Yeah, I think they can do that. I don't see it coming through, but I think obviously they have the opportunity to do that. But I don't know. I'm perplexed with that. Who was my pick again?
Took Alabama.
You know, I'm sitting here taking Alabama, but Ohio State's on my mind more and more.
Well, why? Because we're talking Florida State and Alabama.
Well, I'm saying for that Final Four, but the game itself, the other thing I'm worried about this game, it should be a great matchup with your two top, but you always worry about it's kind of like becomes a dud. It's not. Maybe it's a blowout.
Live up to the hype, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really live up to the hype. Maybe neither team plays well, or if one falls apart, I think it would be Florida State. I don't know why I picked that, but
just because Bama's more stable in those big game spotlight settings.
Everybody in the world is picking Alabama. They have everything needed from the coaching on down, but and in this game, I would stick with Alabama, and I think I'd picked Alabama, kind of giving it away a little bit in the Final Four as being the team to beat once again. But
well, everybody's favorite.
That's why I started thinking here about Ohio State's on my mind for some reason. My Heisman surprise pick.
They're everybody's favorite with winning the national championship 2 years ago, losing to Clemson in a heartbreaker this past year. The thing that I would say would worry me about Florida State is Jimbo Fisher sometimes in these must-see matchups. The play calling of the offense gets a little sketchy, and there's some things that they'll abandon the run, or they'll do some things that get out of character at times. I think their defense, they get Derwin James back, the safety who was hurt last year. I think that's going to be a big boost in this game. Bama's defense, they're going to have new headline names by season's end. They don't have as many of them right now. Minka Fitzpatrick on the back end of the secondary is going to be really good, but I think Florida State's going to pull this one out. The loser is not written off at all.
No, when we talk that Final Four, I got to believe three of those teams will have one loss. So one loss early and a marquee, national marquee, three teams playing?
Yeah.
No, a loss not going to hurt.
Well, let's go there. ACC, Florida State's competition, you're looking at Clemson, who's been in the title game the last couple of years. They had to reload without Deshaun Watson. And they did it before when they lost Taj Boyd, the Phoebus High grad out of the area. Then you look at, and their defense was really good up front, led by Cleveland Farrell up there. And they got Jordan Williams from Cox High in Virginia Beach coming in as a freshman. You got Miami, who's going to be much improved. Mark Richt has got a really good group. Remember, they played 3 freshman linebackers last year, so they're going to be more solid and sound on defense in that front seven. And then there could be a couple teams lurking like Virginia Tech, perhaps. In the SEC, it's just a gauntlet. You think of Florida out of the East, you think of Georgia out of the East, but in the West division alone, you got to deal with. We've seen Arkansas and Ole Miss make some move up. Not Ole Miss now with the coaching change. They got some big time recruits in there, but LSU and Auburn both very high on people's list. Auburn with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback, and then LSU, you lose Leonard Fournette, but I think Darius Geis is just as good, if not better, certainly catching out of the backfield.
Yeah, I agree with that. LSU's always one to watch, and then for somehow they disappoint. I think that kid, when it's all said and done, will have better numbers than Fournette.
I do too.
Fournette, I think, is going to be a better pro than what he was the runner in high school. He's now in the pros, but
can he get Jacksonville turned around is a bigger question.
Yeah, that's the key on there. I like that LSU. I like that.
So let's get to it. One more game before we get to the final four picks that I want to highlight. Michigan and Florida. Did you see what Jim Harbaugh did?
Something about their naming on the roster.
He did on the media the media page. They put out game notes. He put like old Michigan players like Leon Hall and Tom Brady and guys in the past on the current roster. But Florida's had some suspensions here, and Jim McElwain, the coach there, who used to be with Nick Saban, by the way, he's come out and taking some pot shots at Harbaugh. Harbaugh's come taking some shots back, and it's funny because now you're looking at. There's a lot of fire in this game. This could be one of those high attentions emotion games here. I think Michigan wins it. I don't think Michigan's as good as they were last year. Probably a year away. Still figuring out that quarterback situation, and they did lose their best defensive player from a year ago too.
Yeah,
Peppers.
I go with Michigan in this. I just think I think not quite as good as last year, but not far from it, and they'll get there quick enough. I like Michigan in this game.
Yeah, and that's them and the Gators will be another top 20 matchup of note. All right, final four picks. Who you got in the final four and then your championship winner? You want to go first? Or let me go first?
I'll go.
All right, go ahead. You go.
Alabama.
Bye. See you later. Gee, what a shock. Went on a limb there.
Ohio State.
Okay. Another limb there. 1 and 2.
I think Florida State's going to lose a couple games. They're going to lose to Alabama.
So don't pick them. They lose 2 games. There hasn't been a 2-loss team yet in the Final Four playoff. Hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so I got Alabama.
Might happen this year, though. I think an SEC team could do it.
I'm going to go Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, even with no big game Bob Stoops coaching.
Nope. And guess who my fourth team will be? Sleeper among all sleepers.
You want me to guess it or let you tell us? You're going to go Notre Dame because you love Notre Dame.
I love Notre Dame. Best college program
They're not
in
getting
history.
In the Final Four, though.
No.
No disrespect to Darnell Ewell, Jeremiah Owusu, a couple of guys from the area.
If they knock off Southern Cal, UCLA, Washington, Stanford,
David
Cardinals.
Shaw and
Stanford
Cardinals.
How about that for a wild fourth team to play for a national title? This guy ain't got all his marbles in the right bag.
Did Andrew Luck come back to school?
No, he's still out. He won't play.
He probably wishes he could instead of getting beat up by the Colts.
Yeah,
the Colts with that offensive line.
He's going to miss first game. That
line's terrible.
Why would I say Stanford? Wow.
Why would you say Stanford?
I think the schedule, it's always going to be tough in that Pac-10, Pac-12, which is doesn't get quite the respect. I hate saying no Florida State, because if they beat Alabama, Florida State's are going to be in the Final Four regardless.
That they are.
But I don't think they're going to beat Alabama.
That they are. And SC is game 2 for Stanford, minus Christian McCaffrey, who's now with the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
I don't want to do it. I mean, it just makes sense. I'm going to go Alabama there. I do think that they're vulnerable, even with Hurts and Scarborough, and I think they're vulnerable. So if LSU or Auburn the last game of the year could beat them. That's the game that worries me. Now, if they don't get in the SEC championship game, can they still get in the game? Yeah, with one loss, it's going to depend on what happens with Florida State. And I'm going to go Alabama. I'm not going to go Ohio State. I think their defensive rushman package is really good. You got guys up there, Bosa, and of course Jalen Holmes from Lake Tahoe High, Norfolk. They can get there. I'm not quite all in on them, and I think they'll get tripped up in November. Watch out for Iowa to pull the upset of the Buckeyes. I like the Ohio State's team a little more the last couple of years. So I'm going to go Alabama. I'm going to go Florida State to get there. I think Bama will recover from the one loss and beat an Auburn at the end of the year, and that'll get themselves in as well as winning the SEC.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Southern Cal. The quarterback, Sam Darnold, is going to be the number 1 pick next year, probably by the Jets. So people are going to be buying Jets Darnold jerseys, or making them. And then my 4th wild card pick, because I'm a man and I'm not 40, I'm going to go with Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State Cowboys.
He's priceless.
Mason Rudolph to James Washington is the best passing combination in the country. Not the Washington that played with the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, but the Oklahoma State Cowboys. He and Rudolph, they'll connect. I think their defense is a little better than people realize. Not great, but I think it'll be a bend but don't break defense.
Yeah.
And they have the offensive firepower in a Big 12 where I'm not ready to say Oklahoma, Texas, who will be on the rise with Tom Herman, or even a TCU, anyone else, Baylor, who's taking a step back, is going to knock them off. And even with one loss, they can get in there depending on when the loss comes and to who in the margin. So will they be undefeated? Time will tell. Washington was the one-loss team last year, led by Jake Browning and Chris Peterson's group there. I think Oklahoma State is that team this year that gets in as that surprise number 4 pick. And I'm going to give you a championship pick. I got Oklahoma State in the championship game losing to Florida State.
Oh, so you got...
I got them getting in the title game and then losing. Yes. That's really going to limb. So Bama gets in, USC get in, and they both get done. And I think a lot of that could be when you get to those bowl games and that Final Four round is some guys looking at NFL dollars. And it happened to Alabama a couple years ago with Ohio State. Remember, they got drubbed because they had some guys looking at the pros. And that might happen this year playing that rugged SEC. So I'm going championship game FSU over Okie State.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get my head examined, right?
Well, it would help.
Okay.
My championship game, what I say, I have Alabama against Ohio State.
And the winner?
Alabama.
Tuscaloosa
I keep
loves
looking at
Eddie
Ohio
Young.
State. Oh.
We'll go with Ohio State, but you just picked Alabama on
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Alabama. Can't keep
Heisman Trophy. Lamar Jackson was the guy.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Came
Like
out of
40
nowhere.
touchdowns or
That
something.
big effort he had against Florida State when they put up 60+, and that really, I think, got him on the scene. And then they played Clemson. He did well in that game, despite the close loss to Deshaun Watson and company. Deshaun Watson finished runner-up, and the guy won a championship, had a great career, didn't get it. Who's your guy? Sam Darnold is the Vegas favorite, followed by Baker Mayfield. Then you got Lamar Jackson, J.T. Barrett, the Penn State back, Saquon Barkley. Who's your guy? Give me your 1, 2, 3, or give me your Heisman breakdown. What do you got?
I'm going to go Barrett out of Ohio State.
As number 1 or
Number 1.
he's his Heisman Trophy winner, J.T. Barrett.
J.T. Barrett.
And remember, a couple years ago, we wondered about him if he'd be starting quarterback.
It's true.
They had Cardell Jones, and they had a lot of talent at quarterback spot with the Buckeyes.
2, give me Sam Darnold.
Darnold, okay.
Southern Cal quarterback. And 3, give me Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, Louisville.
So no running back love for you. No defensive love.
No.
We've seen guys like Charles Woodson and Bill Peppers occasionally get in there. It's hard for a defensive guy to get in there, but interesting. I'm going to go 3-2-1 for you here. I'm going to go at number 3, Darius Geist, the running back at LSU. I think he's going to have a huge year. And I think 4th will be Barkley from Penn State. Number 2, I'm going to go Sam Darnold. And he'll be the first pick in the draft, provided he comes out, which he should. And at number 1, I am taking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Actually, he doesn't have a red nose. He's not a reindeer. Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State. So you're picking Barrett, who loses in the title game, in your pick. I'm taking Rudolph, who gets to the title game and loses in my pick. And that happens a lot. The Heisman Trophy guy generally loses in the championship game.
Wow.
It happens a lot. Think about it. You think of Reggie Bush. You think of different guys that get to the game and they lose it. That's where I'm going.
Alabama.
Scarborough and Hurts.
Hurts would be, okay. Yeah, Scarborough and Hurts would be. I wonder who get a little bit more for Hurts.
Yeah.
I think a little bit more.
Being a QB, Scarborough being the running back, so.
I mean, it goes to show you that program doesn't win based on 1 or 2, 3 players. It's a program.
Yeah, they have a lot of defensive guys. They got to replace some guys that went to the league, so I think that's going to be the big question mark for them a little bit. And they usually churn out talent, so that's the Heisman pick. And for college football this year, it should be a lot of fun. I don't have a San Diego State like I did last year that I'm quite feeling as a major upset team.
Great pick last year, the Aztecs.
Yeah, and then they ended up losing a game that you said they wouldn't lose, which irked me.
Let me give you a team.
He's got one. Ed Young with his
This is
dark
for
horse.
you. You're dark.
For me.
I'm going to pick a dark horse
For me?
for
to
you.
root for? You're going to
Yes.
give me a team to root for. Okay.
All right.
It's probably a team I don't
pursue,
care for.
peruse. Is it peruse or
Peruse.
Peruse my notes.
Okay.
You're going to
Those
take.
donuts went to his head from the show this morning, or he was out
Yeah,
late.
it's
Maybe it was a
the
little bit of
donuts.
both.
It's the donuts. It's the sugar high. How about I give you?
I know where you're going. You want me to tell you where you're going? I already know where you're going.
Where am I going to see if you know?
Charlie Strong in South Florida is where you're going, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay. Whew. Dodge that bullet.
I'm going to give you, because nobody's talking about them and they're not bad.
Nobody's talking.
TCU.
You're giving me TCU.
I'm giving you TCU.
Gary Patterson.
Yes.
Okay. I can live with that. And remember, last year we both had them losing to Ole Miss. And I think they're going to get Ole Miss this year.
A lot of people are going to get Ole Miss. The NCAA got Ole Miss. So they messed up. They were messed up over there.
They're going to be gotten.
They're gotten.
Getting gotten.
They got get.
You know who I'll give you
got.
my Donnell Pumphrey guy, and the nation's finding out about him because he is a pretty talented player at his position. But I'm going to give you the guy that everybody is talking up. It's going to be the surprise player this year in college football, and he might be a first-round pick, is the QB from Wyoming, Josh Allen.
Ooh.
And they play Iowa out of the gate. Don't know if they can win that game, but Josh Allen's going to be the guy that rises up the draft board, and people are watching him a lot. I don't know if Wyoming's got enough talent around him for him to have a monster year and be a Heisman candidate and then be a double-digit win team, though.
Wyoming is 5, maybe 6 wins. Well, 6 wins, bowl eligible. Wow, that's a
They'll get to a bowl game because anybody goes to a bowl game.
Wow, that's true.
As long as you don't go 3-9,
Well,
you go to a bowl game.
technically you got to win 6.
That doesn't mean nothing. They've had teams with losing
But
records.
they've had some 5-win teams in because they have to get permission to come in.
So, yeah, he could be this year's Carson Wentz, if you will. A guy that kind of comes out of, or Joe Flacco, who was at Delaware. So, that'll do it. College football. We'll be making more picks and chiming in on the sport throughout the year. And then we got the NFL video show coming, too. Find it on MatthewHatfield.com. Go to VirginiaPreps.com and make sure you listen every Saturday 10 a.m. to noon to ESPN Radio 94.1. If you want to be a sponsor of the video show, get involved with us, reach out to us. We'd love to have you. We'd love to even do the video show from your location or establishment. We'll come to you.
And it's not that expensive.
No, it's not.
We'll work it out with you.
We will. Take care. Enjoy the college football Saturdays.
It's here, college football.